Thunderbolts trailer.
Oh, that's right. Now, we spoke about this briefly a few weeks ago because we saw the leaked
It
version.
seems to be the same.
It's mostly the same. They've added some big, bold text. They've added a tagline, which is "Careful who you assemble," which I think is a bit of fun.
Careful who you Thunderbolts.
Exactly. It's a bit of a riff on Avengers
Asterix.
there. That's right. It's on the poster in impact font. Little, very, very last-minute edition.
Make an impact on us.
There is some additional footage. There's more Winter Soldier footage.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's gotten back the gun from Captain America Winter Soldier, which is the gun that
Shoots the
fires the
mine,
disc,
that
and the
goes
disc
under,
goes under your car,
goes
sticks
under,
under your car,
bang,
and the car flips the car.
Back in sync.
So that's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And we got the Thunderbolts poster. I don't know if you saw that, but it's
I mentioned this in one of the live shows that I did because there was that theory that it's AI generated because of Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman? No, he's Bill Pullman's son. He's in Top Gun.
Robert Pullman.
Robert Bilbert.
I don't think it's, but his character's name is Bob. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I don't think it is. I think it's a
No, it's not. You can see that it's just framed weirdly.
What is the term for this?
Lewis Pullman.
Lewis Pullman. There we go. What's the term for this sort of poster? Is it Baroque? Because there's a Sons of Anarchy poster. Like one season of Sons of Anarchy, it was the same vibe. It's everybody's getting in there.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the term for it? I'll never know. I will never know.
Someone will
never
let
know,
you
and
know.
I'll never learn.
It's good to not learn.
I agree.
That's good. What do you think about Avengers Tower, etc.?
What's my take
going
on that? I still think it's I still think the big reveal is going to be that it's okay. Here's a couple of options. I said it's going to be owned by Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn. That might be it. Someone emailed in. I don't have their email right here, but they said it might also be Wilson Fisk.
Yeah, okay.
Because it needs to be a guy. That the reveal needs to be a guy people can go, it's the guy. I think it could also be. There's an outside chance that it is Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane.
I like that.
And then people might be like, didn't he die in that exploding fireworks factory at the end of Iron Man 1? Yes, he did. But what if he didn't?
What if he didn't? What if he just
And people are like, that's the guy from the first movie. He's back. And his son could be there. We get Ezekiel Stane, and there's another thing there. He could just be like, I jumped out of the window.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't die.
I did a roll.
Yeah. I did
a roll behind some safety.
Yeah. There's the Sons of Anarchy poster.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay. It's quite Baroque, isn't it, when you look at it?
Is that the term?
Oh, yeah.
I think it is.
It's definitely a feeling. I also saw, apparently in it, there's some plans for the Sentry's Tower, which often sits on top of
Avengers Tower.
So
yeah,
it
that's
could
right.
be something to do with that as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
Perhaps it's been there all along.
Yeah, well, that's right. Because, of course, Sentry, and you know more about this than I do, he's a character when they introduced him, he'd been wiped from history, so he'd always been in all the major
so the
events.
idea behind the character is that he was new in the early 2000s, but the premise was that in the Marvel universe he'd been there for years, and all the other heroes at large had forgotten about him for reasons that are revealed in the original miniseries. Yeah. And they also did a fun little bit where the editors of the book were like, we've had this character for years. I guess we opened a drawer and we forgot.
Liars.
They were lying.
They lied to us.
So how much of this is being used? I'm very curious because in the comic books. In the comic books, he has the appearance of like a Superman style character.
Yeah.
He's got a cape, he can fly, he's invulnerable, he's super strong, etc. But ultimately, his powers are like significantly more far-reaching than that. It's just he's sort of chosen to give himself those powers.
Yeah.
He can actually sort of alter reality on a fundamental level and sort of create things like a far-reaching way, like all around the world. So how much of that is going to be in this movie, or how much of that is just going to be? It's just going to be like, well, we simplified it, and he's just a guy who can fly.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be like a combination of super soldier serum and gamma radiation.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because he seems to be lab grown. Whatever's going on.
Yeah. No. True.
Hot quick news.
Watcha! This has been so hot and quick.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's heating up because of all the hot quick news.
Hot news.
Now, Joker 2, Folie à Deux.
Oh, yes.
It's tracking pretty low.
Oh.
It's looking to have a 68 million US opening weekend, which is far below the first one.
Yeah,
Again, this is something I talked about extensively on the live shows, which, if you were there.
Oh, yes.
Which you were, actually.
I was there.
Thanks for coming.
I was very quiet.
Yeah.
You know.
And
if somebody had said the secret word, I would have sprung up.
Yep.
And gone, huzzah.
It was the C word.
That's exactly right. You would have...
I think Douche said it.
I was going to say Douche would have said it.
Yeah. But it's, what are we talking about here? Yeah, so I think it comes down to it's marketed weirdly. They're not committing to like it's a musical. I don't think Todd Phillips even likes it as a musical.
I don't think he likes it at all.
No, it seems to be the way that they're talking about it. It's like, I think this is a very much a Joaquin Phoenix and to a lesser extent Lady Gaga like led production. They were rewriting it on the fly on like napkins.
Great sign.
And it's a jukebox musical. They released that song. Lady Gaga released that song. It's the Kath and Kim theme song.
What? I didn't know about
this. You know
this.
that she released a song and it's that Joker in the Pack. The Joker is Me song, which is funny if you're Australian because that's a very famous song from it is a famous song, but it's from a very famous Australian sitcom.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, it's like there's always a Joker in the pack and the Joker is me, etc. Yeah. It's Joker related, which actually fits in perfectly with this movie.
Because this movie's about the Joker.
Mostly about the Joker.
Well, it's about a guy who says his name is the Joker.
Now, I'm not going to spoil anything because also I don't know. Have you read any of the leaks?
No.
Yeah, okay, cool. Because it's out this week.
I know.
We go see it.
I know this.
I'm going to take my son.
I know this big Joker. You shouldn't take your son to that.
Why not?
Because he'll probably shoot Robert De Niro in the head again.
He already
Your
died.
son.
Oh, okay.
In real life.
Yeah. He's alive, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be inspired to buy a gun and go to America and shoot
I
Robert
would
De Niro.
hate my son to turn into the Joker and shoot Robert De Niro.
I was going to say, yeah.
And that's the risk you run.
That's true.
So, yeah, but it's tracking low. It's not really... I think it's still going to do okay. It'll probably break even and then some.
Yeah, right.
But the hype behind this, I think if you love the first movie, this is very different. And I like the idea of them trying something very different, but it doesn't seem like they've fully embraced it in any interesting way. I don't know.
I mean, Big Joker.
Big Joker's in this.
Right.
And there's a double stair kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's beautiful.
It's courtroom drama or something. Gotcha! Get out of here, Joker. We'll talk about you next week. So hot. What about this one? Apparently Sony are restarting production on Spider-Verse 3, but delaying it. They're like, we don't like this. So it's just scrapped and they're going to...
Everything's scrapped.
Apparently.
That's a lot of work.
Story. I know.
Wow.
It's already late. It's supposed to be out 6 months ago.
Right?
Yeah.
We should have been, at this point, we should have been like, that wasn't a satisfying end to the story.
Yeah.
We're mad about it.
Redo it.
We could have been mad for 6 months at this point.
Exactly. Imagine how good that would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, I don't know. I think that was still a rumor. I mean, Sony also, I don't know if you saw the story where there's a new contract apparently between Sony and Marvel where Marvel now have the rights to use any of the Sony characters. Like, I think it's something like 30 days after that goes to VOD, which means they can use like alternate versions of Kraven or whatever.
Oh, Morbius.
Yeah, or Morbius.
Right.
So I'd say they probably... So if they like Kraven...
And why wouldn't you?
And why wouldn't you? Yeah. Or they don't like
He's
Kraven.
a friend to all the animals.
Yeah, exactly. If they want to use like a Kraven that doesn't like animals, which is Kraven,
that's so
they
true.
can make their own version.
Yeah,
and
better version.
The other stipulation is that Sony has to spend at least $75 million on their movies and release it in 2,000 theaters, which basically a way of saying stop making low-budget, bad villain spin-off movies or whatever, or Madam Web movies.
Oh, so it has to be more than $75 million.
Yes.
Okay.
And because otherwise you can do what they did with the Fantastic Four movie in the 90s. You make a pile of crap and then you don't release it or you give it a really soft launch and then you keep the rights.
Yeah.
So it's basically a way to ensure quality control.
Yeah, I'd call this the Warren Beatty rule.
Yeah. Big Warren Beatty vibes in Megalopolis, don't you think? Like the Dick Tracy kind of...
Let's not get into it until we get into it.
Yeah. How about this? Oh, cha!
Ja!
Too hot. News.